Lesson 72.
Я вижу.
So this is kind of a special lesson, isn't it? Because we're learning our first action verb, right?
Yes.
So this new verb for this lesson, it means I see. And now with this verb, we can have a sentence in which we have a direct object. So if we say, I see the car in Russian, the word for car is the direct object. So we have to change the ending to show that it's the direct object, right, Sergey?
Right, so it would be Я вижу машину.
So if you say, Я вижу машина, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
Because the noun is in the wrong form. So in order for that sentence to make sense, you have to have the correct ending on the end of the word for car. So this is a good lesson on Russian grammar, right, Lucille?
I think it's especially important. As English speakers, we do not do this with our nouns. They don't have those inflected endings. So it's a different way of thinking to recognize when a noun is working as a direct object to know when to use this ending.
And one last thing before we go, Sergey, we're showing them that we can negate the verb by putting the word nie right before it, right?
Right, so I think we talked briefly about that earlier. So if you say Я вижу машину, that means I see the car or I see a car. And if you put the word не or not before the verb to see, it will sound like this. Я не вижу машину, which means I do not see the car or a car.
So a word-for-word translation, literally word for word, from the Russian would be I not see car.
Right.
Of course, in English, we would add in the word do. We would say, I do not see the car. So again, the negating word, nie, is going right before the verb.
It's actually, in my opinion, easier to negate something in Russian because, as you mentioned, in English, we do have to add in that helping verb there. But in Russian, you just plug in the nie and keep going.